Exercise number 7 asks us to find the complement of the supplement of an angle. They call it beta, which is just pi over 6. So we know that's beta. Okay, so let's do the complement first. Okay, here, the complement, so beta plus its complement, it doesn't really matter what we call it, let's call it alpha. Okay, that's going to be equal to 90 degrees. Now, if we do that in radians, that's going to be equal to pi over 2. So we've got pi over 6 plus some angle has to be equal to pi over 2. And so the angle that we're looking for, the complement, is going to be pi over 2 minus pi over 6. Now what we need to do is need to get this to have a common denominator. So it's going to be 3 pi over 6. So let's put a 6 down here. Minus just 1 pi over 6. That's going to be 2 pi's over 6, which reduces to pi over 3. So the complement of pi over 6 is pi over 3. Now let's think about that. Pi over 6 is a 30-degree angle. Pi over 3 is a 60-degree angle. And these two guys should add up to be 90 degrees, and they do. So when you're going through your problems, make sure things make sense. Okay, let's talk about the supplement. So beta plus some other angle, let's call it gamma, has got to be equal to 180 degrees if they're supplements. So it's got to be equal to just pi radians, right? So beta, in terms of radians, is pi over 6 plus some angle is equal to pi. That's what we want. So gamma is equal to pi minus pi over 6. Now if we get a common denominator here again, we have 6 pi's over 6 minus pi over 6. That gives us 5 pi over 6. So our supplement is 5 pi over 6. Now, this, by the way, if you look at your unit circle, okay, is going to be 150 degrees. So again, 150 plus 30 gives me 180. Another thing that I want you to be aware of is pi over 3 plus 90 degrees. So 60 degrees plus 90 degrees should give us 150. So let's make sure. So if you take the complement and add 90, you get the supplement. That's the idea. So pi over 3, do you get a common denominator? This is 6 pi over 6. And pi over 2, I don't know why I put equals. And actually, let's just start this over. So pi over 3, because that was not right, I don't even remember what I had written. Let's just start this over again. Okay, so pi over 3. That, if I want to get it over 6, that's 2 pi's over 6. And if I want to get this guy over 6, I got to multiply top and bottom by 3. So 2 pi plus 3 pi, that's 5 pi's over 6. So again, we get that value.